28th of October 2019, Sergey Baklikov continue my video blog after my recent road trips to Leningrad region, Russia, outside of Saint Petersburg, where I used the cars from Carsharing. Many of you asked me what it is exactly all about and how it works. The thing is, many people thought it's some kind of car rentals, but it's not. The main difference, in my opinion, that this is mostly for a short trips inside of big cities. So that's why it mostly works in Saint Petersburg, Moscow, you know, the city of Ufa, which is my hometown, but also a big town. And different from, let's say, Enterprise that I use when I've been to the United States. Here you don't need to go to any certain location and to get the car there for a minimum of 1 day and then to return to any certain location of that car rental brands. No, here you just walk all around the city and you can sit in any closest car and you can rent it for just, you know, like several minutes to make a trip of just one, you know, like maybe even 1 kilometer, or maybe it can take for several hours, or maybe for 1 day or a couple of days, or to get a fixed rate. Now I will show you how it works on the example of Yandex Drive. I'm not sure if they are working with foreign customers, but I use it mostly now. Well, actually I have like several applications in my phone, but mostly use Yandex. Yandex, you know, it's like a Google in the United States. It's the search engine. Well, initially it was a search engine, which is more popular, still more popular than Google. It was an online company, but now turned to make many offline projects. Let's say just for several years recently, they absolutely captured the market of taxi. Now they seem like going to capture the market of car sharing. They came later than other companies like Delimobil or Belka, and now seems like they captured the market because, you know, they came with many cars. Why I now prefer them? Because they have many price options. They have lots of, like, hundreds of cars, always available, like, everywhere, and also many different choices of the cars, like budget models of the cars, more premium and even more premium, also cargo cars, and even minivan like Volkswagen Caravella. You know, interesting that I never even talked with anybody from Yandex Drive. All I did is just downloaded the application. Never I talked with any staff member, even by phone. When I downloaded the application, I was talking with a robot. It said, send the picture of passports. Send the picture of passports and your registration. Then send both sides of your driver's license, and also the fifth photo with you and the passports on it. Okay, I sent it, and in 2 hours I've got that. Okay, you went through the check and now you can use it. And look, here is the map of Saint Petersburg. Look, you see these dots? That's all the cars. I believe here is maybe like 300 cars here. You know, only in the airport of Saint Petersburg there's 65 cars. Look how many of them. And look, we are here now. Next to me here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Okay, let's see this. When I click the dots, I see what's the car is this. I don't know, Capture, or let's say this car, Nissan Qashqai, and I see how many fuel there. Also, I can order to warm up the car while I go there. Okay, let's choose just closest car, Renault Capture. The fuel there for 504 kilometers, which is a lot. And look, here is the price options. 1 minute, almost 9 rubles, which is like will be about $1.3 for 10 minutes. Fixed price, for example, I just set a certain address and it tells me what will be the fixed price. But here you don't have to try to cheat on. The system see everything and they can just ban you then. Then option for 3 hours. 3 hours, it's almost 1,000 rubles, which is about 16 bucks. Okay, 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 1 day and more, up to 3 days. And the fuel is already included if you choose a fixed price or if it's per minute. And if you order for, let's say, 1 day, there's only a certain amount of fuel there's already included. Let's say 1 day, let's see, 1 day, it's you have only 400 kilometers prepaid on this tariff, which is 4,400 rubles, which is about, like, 65 bucks, which is good. Okay, let's choose the car. As soon as I say, okay, I take this car, pay per minute. Okay, the system reserve this car for me, and gives yet 10 free minutes to get to the car. Come on. Come on. Okay, here is the car. Now I just click open up and it opens. And even after opening the car, I have another 5 minutes to check everything is okay with the car. Well, I checked the car and it seems like okay. And when you're inside, the main thing is to check out that the documents are here. That's the document for a car and insurance. What about insurance? Insurance is limited liability here. So you have to be careful, because if you will be guilty, you will have to pay, to repair the car. After you've made sure everything is okay, you click the final button saying I agree with all the agreements. And look, before you will click it, you can start the car. Look. No. But when you click okay, accept, it starts working, the screen is turned on and you see the counter. I already have to pay 1 ruble status. And now look. Oh, voila. Okay, come on. So come on, let's go. Let's lose control and do it all night till we can do it no more. I can say that definitely I love car sharing and use it pretty often now, since I don't have a car here. It is in most cases like about 20-30% cheaper than taxi, especially when it's rain, when it's jams. When it's rain and when it's jams, the price for taxi jumping up dramatically. But the price for car sharing staying almost the same. And of course it's cheaper than to have your own car with all those expenses like the insurance, petrol, technical repair, and so. And also this is one more way to experience this city. Like, I like to walk and to drive inside of the city. This is one more way to feel the pulse, you know, the pulse of the city. And I think, what about the big cities? There's a big future for car sharing all over the world. Imagine that, let's say, at least a half of cars will be just sharing, the cars for sharing. So like every second car you can see and go, and to leave it just almost everywhere you want and where it's available. Also, what about car sharing here? The advantage in Moscow and Saint Petersburg that you can park it on a paid parkings for free, and also you can drive the toll road of Saint Petersburg for free as well, which makes it great. And maybe in the future, you know, we just, instead of buying a car, we will buy like a lot of minutes from any brand. For example, I buy I don't know, maybe 10,000 minutes from Mercedes, or I don't know, Mazda or whatever. And there's a lot of cars, sharing cars from Mercedes, Volkswagen, Mazda, Toyota, and I just can't take any of those cars and drive. Really, in a big city, why to have your own car? You know, it's much more comfortable. You just ride as much as you need and leave the car and leave all the problems behind. You don't care about the you know, gas, I mean petrol, insurance, and all other stuff. And even if somebody will rob this car, you know, this is already not your problem. By the way, what about filling the gas? You can go to like most of gas stations here, and you can fill your car also using just an application, free for you. Absolutely amazing concept, I think. I don't really remember if I already mentioned all available models here in this car sharing, but that's Volkswagen Polo, Renault Captur, Nissan Qashqai, and Skoda Rapids. This is like a budget category. A little bit more expensive, there goes Audi A3, and like the most expensive, it's Mercedes and Volvo. I don't remember the exact model of Volvo, but this is SUV. And Mercedes, it's E-Class. And also there's a cargo cars, and Volkswagen Caravella, that's a minivan. When you drive a car sharing car, you have to keep in mind that everything is under control, and all information about the rides, it goes to the servers of Yandex. And you don't have to speed, because if you're speeding, even if you will not get the penalty from the speeding cameras, then definitely you will get a penalty from Yandex. Well, when I was driving the road trip, I was speeding a lot. I never got any fine from the police because I never got into the radar of the cameras. But just Yandex blocked me for 3 days. I guess if you will start making this over and over again, at first they will increasing the number of days they are blocking you, and then finally maybe will ban forever. I've tried to cover all of the questions regarding car sharing in Russia, and in particular in Saint Petersburg. If you still have any questions, feel free to write in the comments. Stay tuned and keep watching. Comment, like, subscribe. See you.